So Season 2 of Vinland Saga might have come to an end, but lucky for us, Season 3 is more or less confirmed. Now, officially no, but according to the chief animation director of Vinland Saga Season 2 on Twitter, not only was he incredibly passionate and thankful for all the love and support, Thorfinn's journey will continue. That's not a go read the manga tweet, that's them saying, just give us time to cook, because they continuously would come up every 6 months or so and said, please, give us time, we're working on this season, it's gonna be amazing, just let us tend the fields. And we probably got one of the most passionate anime adaptations I have seen in a long time, maybe even ever. It just oozes absolute quality, and given the fact that we knew it would get a season 3, but it's nice to see that some of the top people involved in this production are saying, yeah, it gonna come. 2025, 2026, that's probably the safe bet, but either way, this was a perfect ending. I love me my Vinland Saga, and I think we've all been excited to see what would happen when Thorfinn returns home. Maybe a little more brutal than we were initially expecting, but what a brilliant finish. Now, full live reaction episode 24 is available on my Patreon if you do want to see my full uncut thoughts as I watch today's beautiful, hilarious, emotional, and engaging final episode. It's over there if you're interested. Now, I think without a doubt, there is so many little moments to pick from, and that could be talked about for 5 minutes. The fact that after 16 years, he finally thought to himself, I don't know my age, because how would he keep track? He was literally standing and hanging around killers and the worst people. He's never really had the time or the ability to relax and think about when his birthday is or how old he is. But to see the reunion, very two different reunions between mother and sister. Sister, at first I thought she was just angry that he never came home and that's why she was kind of strangling him, but no, she didn't believe it. My brother died like 16 years ago. This is a story you came up with to make our mom and me seem like we have hope. But the idea of the mom, I think the reason the mom was able to really tell is because of how similar he's starting to look to Thor's. His jawline, his face structure, and the fact that a mom knows that she just immediately, there was no anger, there was no resentment, there was just thank you to the lords above that my boy is safe and home. And my favorite part of this entire episode is hands down the silent montage. Now, yes, there's some narration with Thorfinn, but mostly, like, he's not repeating what he's telling them because, of course, we've already experienced that throughout seasons 1 and 2, but just looking at their faces as he tells the story, as he highlights, he doesn't go over every detail, he hits all the key points, but by their faces. Even characters like Leif, who knows the general idea, even he was almost just dumbfounded by what a 6-year-old boy went through all the way over the course to now 22, right? It's absolutely baffling, and to see Einar just sitting there with him, the fact that he wanted to get up and leave, this isn't my place, you guys should be together, your family, and the mom's like, if you're Thorfinn's brother, you're my son, and I'm like, oh my god. The brotherly bond that has built between them, I mean, I was really worried earlier into this season that Einar wouldn't make it. To see us come out of this season hitting so many key season 1 points, it's been so long ago you might be forgetting about it, but seriously, the fact that when he's talking with his sister and looking at his father's sword, that is literally the exact same shot as at the beginning of season 1 when Thor's basically bends over and says, why do you need a weapon? You have no enemies. We have no enemies. There are no enemies. Like that speech and how a kid just couldn't comprehend that, and at the time we're thinking, what's this guy's talking about? Or the idea that the little moments of like when he looks at the slave that was buried that he traded how many sheep for even though the slave was gonna die anyway. These moments that at the time Thorfinn thought his father was an idiot or a coward or was running away or just couldn't comprehend. Now he looks at and says, I just couldn't understand just how ahead my father actually was. And the fact that he can tell people that he wants to build a country without war and how it may be a fool's dream, he'll probably never get there. But the idea that he wants to attempt it in a world that's so full of hate and rage and murder, the fact that he came home, it just felt like after all the hell that this kid's been through, whether he's done things that are irredeemable from many people's point of view, whether things that have been done to him that never should have occurred, the fact that ever since his father died and he just turned into that hateful kid, the fact that we now are home, and have arguably the most peaceful episode we've had since the beginning of the show is absolutely mind-boggling. The reason that this season surpasses even season 1 is because it takes the core heart and soul that made Vinland Saga great, which was a character story, a character-driven series, and a Viking war-torn world, and watching how characters responded to that. And while there was definitely less action, the action that was here was fantastic, mind you. It just felt like, after really experiencing everything in season 1, which now just feels like a prologue. It really does. Season 1 is now, I can look at it as just a prologue. I thought the prologue was the intro with the father and everything. No, the prologue is season 1 in its entirety, getting us to see how much of a person Thorfinn didn't feel like by pretty much the end of season 1. The journey of basically someone who you just wanted to kill your entire life, having that ripped away from you, and then getting sold into slavery because you tried to kill a king. To then see the rebound of being at your absolute lowest, not even a person, and how Einar and him build and build and build. They lose so much, but then you have the idea of hope and telling people, Vikings, these proud warriors that will gladly die on the battlefield, will pillage and do these horrible things, that you will run. And the fact that we build into the home episode, it just felt satisfying. Seeing a family back together, and just the fact that the story's not over. This is still just the start. It makes you happy. It makes you proud to see someone like Thors, who over the course of the series we just grew to respect more and more, the greatest warrior. And the fact that we can end this show with Thorfinn just looking like a brand new man, clean, just no longer a slave to his revenge, no longer a slave to an owner of a farm, but rather someone with a desire to even surpass his father and be a man that his father can be proud of, which he already technically is at this point. But damn if that doesn't hit you right in the feels, man. I mean, I'm gonna miss this season. It has hands down been one of the best shows that I've talked about over seasons 1 and 2 on the channel, but you know your boy's gonna be here for season 3. Hell, even if I wasn't really making videos anymore, I'd probably come back just for that Vinland Saga greatness. That's how much I love this show. I can't wait to buy this on Blu-ray. I can't wait to rewatch it in its entirety. It is amazing. And hopefully that got across in these videos how much I love this series, which is, it's been one of my favorites since season 1. It just rose up the ranks with season 2. Thoughts and feelings on this final episode. How excited are you for season 3 when we eventually get it in about 2 or 3 years, give or take? Because we're going to let them cook, because we saw what happens when we let them cook for season 2. It was beautiful. But thoughts and feelings yourself down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more Vinland Saga on the channel, which, hey, might be a few years from now, but you want to get notified when I do it, so consider supporting if you so wish, and you can also get a video shoutout like a few are getting today. So we have Jade, Roman Ruby, Spectra, and Squeleton. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.